Well, it's almost time for the black cap raspberries. Looks like I might have a few this year. And the daylilies have just begun to bloom. Remember, you've got edible components to this wild beast. There's a wild celery, pain medicine. All right. Best of the best have gone to the market. And you may get to see what's left, the rest. Walking by the truck. Greenhouse is pretty warm in there today with the fan, about 92. Without the fan, about 100. How do you like hot pink for a geranium color? Not my choice. Got a few more plants out through there. Some tomatoes that we didn't sell. They were very tall. And various herbs. There's some foxglove over there and a couple of old baskets. Not a lot still going on this time of year, but a good bit. Perennial herbs, thyme, oregano, sage, echinacea, and down at the end, not perennial, basil, and more tomatoes that are making tomatoes now while they're in these cups. And the cherries are pretty prolific. Lots of blooms. There's some cherries. And some more cherries down there. Kind of crazy. One of the wicking buckets. That is curled parsley. And a tomato. Not sure how that got there. I deadheaded some marigolds and spread them around in here. And there's those little guys and those. So this should be a fun bucket before the season's up. And there's actually lavender in there too, if you know what you're looking for. Let's see. Right there. Okay. And the greenhouse has seen lots of plants go through it this year. Got a few left in here hanging out. Some tomatoes that are not gigantic. And some basil, recycled pots from other people. Send our pots back. Coleus damaged in the hail. And some various projects. And then here's a happy mullein out here, hanging by the back door. That's backup toilet paper. Lemon balm. My rhubarb in the wicking bucket, still kicking along. We've harvested off of that several times. That's mostly parsley and thyme. And there are some peppers that we evidently seeded too many of because we have all of these peppers. You need any peppers? And the wicking bucket with the lovage, which is now getting yellow in the heat. And the Brussels sprout that has gone to seed. I'll be capturing some pods off of that pretty soon. They're getting nice and bulgy. And some foxglove. And more foxglove and more foxglove. A wicking bucket I really haven't done anything with. I put some certain tomato seeds in there, but they didn't come up. And I have a spicy globe basil here, and that is an African daisy that came up by itself. It doesn't look too hot, but the bugs have evidently eaten on it. And out here we've got, this plot is beans and cucurbits this year. Very difficult to find time to make the place work with all of the inundations of rain, but we got a few cucumbers here. These were ones I seeded in containers in the greenhouse, And the same is the case with those squash that look blooming and tiny. Those probably aren't going to really provide much. I planted some beans down that row, and there's beans in these various hills down through here. And on the far end, there's some other cucurbits, some pumpkins at the end, and possibly cantaloupes. So we're up to 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Try to get through this quickly. So it takes a long time for videos here to upload. And the flags bloomed out already, and they have to be cut down now. And this plot's got a lot of grass in it. Again, it's hard to stay on top of things when the weather comes like it does. But that's squash, and the rest is all tomatoes except the far rows, peppers, and there are already quite a few tomatoes on. I think there's a total of 93 tomato plants out there. And on that furthest row, you can see the early girls. I see a little color on one now. And then beautiful chemtrails in the sky. Thank you, HAARP. Thank you, Project Indigo. Thank you, the Vatican and the Jesuits. And there he is. If the sun's not shading it out too bad, you can see actually that he is spraying. There we go. Proof, proof, proof. And the wild storms knocked a bunch of the fruit off the tree. This year the apple tree was going to make nicely, I think, but I know a number of fruits have fallen to the ground. I picked them up, but you can see there's some apples, little green apples. Late frost, no peaches. Same with the nectarines. Although no, I saw 2 fruits on the nectarine tree, but the heavy rains must have knocked them off. And this poor plot here is just full of grass. At 3 inches at a time with the rain, it's been full of water too. Got to mow, till, hoe, compost, help. And the pennyroyal is in good shape right there, but that stuff smells good. I just mowed through here, and when I mowed over it, it had all that smell. The beds have been poor this year. The hail has been no help. There's the yucca bush in bloom, and some of the beds, and that's a variety pack here in the foreground. Black-seeded Simpson on down, garlic. Under the screen in the far is chard, and there's kale in that bed as well. And there's spinach in that one with the crate on it. And this one has been onions and mustard greens with a mullein over there in the corner. He's bigger than the one in the greenhouse. So it kind of gives you an idea. If you look past this bed, you can see way down there. It's been difficult to maintain that garden area as well, but there's cucumbers in the foreground, and way out in the back by that furthest pie pan you will see okra. I think there's 175 plants back there. All right, quick tour.